Have you ever had to cut off your entire family because they kept making you feel like you were the problem? I'm 24, 7 months pregnant, and I recently stopped talking to my parents and my sister. My sister has always been competitive with me, but I usually ignored it because I wanted to stay close to her and be part of my niece's life. 2 years ago, I was planning my wedding. My sister was pregnant at the time, and I told everyone that it was going to be child-free. I even told her, if you can't make it because of the baby, I completely understand. Instead, she spent months telling me how selfish I was. Then on my actual wedding day, she showed up with her premature newborn anyway. Suddenly, everything revolved around her baby. At one point, I went somewhere private and cried because I was so overwhelmed. My sister still told me I was being selfish for wanting the day to be about me. So when I got pregnant this year, I was honestly nervous about telling her. She was actually the second person I called. Almost immediately, she started trying to control everything. She wanted to be involved in the baby shower, the gender reveal, and even when we told our parents, I kept saying, I appreciate you wanting to help, but I've got it. Then, during our last conversation, she suddenly said, I guess I'm going to have to get pregnant to steal your spotlight. I literally just sat there for a second. Because she was referencing my wedding, I hung up. A few weeks later, my mom casually told me, your sister's pregnant. And apparently she got pregnant on her first try. I know I can't prove she did it because of me, but after what she had literally just said, the timing made me uncomfortable. What made it worse was watching my parents react. When I announced my pregnancy, my dad barely reacted. My mom was excited, but most of her excitement seemed to be about posting the news online. Meanwhile, when my sister got pregnant, suddenly everyone had time to talk about pregnancy. At around 8 weeks, I finally called my mom. I spent over 30 minutes explaining how hurt I was. I told her, I don't need you to agree with everything I say. I just need you to actually listen to me. My dad was sitting there too. He didn't say a word. My mom just kept minimizing everything. Eventually, I told them, if we can't have an honest conversation about this, then I don't think I can keep doing this. A few months later, my mom begged me to have lunch with them. I was around 5.5 months pregnant. We sat there for an hour and a half. They asked me maybe 2 questions about the baby. The rest of the time, we talked about their lives. Then my mom said, you really need to talk to your sister. I told her I wasn't ready. Instead of asking how I was doing, she said, but your sister is high risk. You need to support her. And I just stared at her, because I was high risk too. They didn't even know. I went home crying. The next day, I explained to both of my parents exactly why that lunch had hurt me. My dad didn't respond. My mom didn't address anything I said. Then I found out my dad had been talking about me behind my back. He had been telling people that I was the one causing all this drama. My parents had also told my sister about my suspicion that her pregnancy might have been competitive. She completely lost it. She and her husband went off in the family group chat, accusing me of wishing bad things on her pregnancy. She even made a point of saying again that she had gotten pregnant in 1 try. At that point, something in me just snapped. I was 7 months pregnant. I realized I had spent years trying to keep peace with people who had no problem making me miserable. So I told my dad, my child won't know you. He didn't respond. Again. Now my parents and my sister say I destroyed the family.